This is Renelle, and welcome to Quality Hang with Rod Brooks and friends. And here he is now, your host, my main man, Rod Brooks.
Thank you very much, Renelle. I am Rod Brooks, and welcome everyone to Quality Hang. And as always, I'm joined on this broadcasting adventure by my friend, my partner in crime, the co-host of Quality Hang. He is Marcus Osborne. What up, dog? How you doing?
What's up, man? It is a hang that is quality.
Yes, sir. We have almost made it through another work week, even though it was a 4-day work week with MLK Day being on Monday. Why does it seem like this has been the weakiest of weeks?
Man, it's felt long. It has felt like a long week.
You know what? Maybe it's because it's January and I'm complaining here. We have it pretty good out in Cali, not like what people are getting on the East Coast or what they're about to get in the Midwest and in the South. But maybe it's just because January just drags on so goddamn long, where you just feel like, really? Can we just? It's, you know what? It's like driving through Texas. It just dawned on me. It's like driving through Texas. All right. When you're trying to go from point A to point B and you have to go through Texas and you feel like you're in Texas forever because you are in Texas forever because it's so big, that's what January feels like. It just dawned on me.
Yeah, it just it's never ending. I'm over it. No sun, and no heat.
We start the show as we always do by thanking our presenting sponsor, the fine folks at Hot Monk Taverns. 3 locations to choose from: Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Novato. And at all 3 locations, they all do the same great things. Fantastic food from a wildly diverse menu, a craft beer selection that is out of this world, and a live entertainment, live music selection that is out of this world as well. Whatever you are into, or whatever you think you're into, or whatever you want to get into, you can find it at Hot Monk. With everything, with the entertainment, with the food, with the beer. So check them out online at hotmonk.com and see what they have coming up as far as live music, live entertainment, or follow them on all the socials. But more importantly, stop by if you happen to be in Sonoma, Sebastopol, or in Novato, and tell them that Rod and Marcus from Quality Hang sent you. That'll get you either quizzical looks or a free drink. One of the two. To me, it's worth the chance to take, wouldn't you say?
That's weird.
Start with the Warriors here. Warriors just finished up their game, Marcus, in Dallas, losing 123-115, and the efforts of Steph Curry, 38 points, not enough to get the job done. It was looking pretty good, Marcus, for the Warriors. Did we lose you there for a second? Have I lost you? You still there? You still there? We have Marcus. I hear you.
You're going out.
I am going in and out. Let's see if we can fix.
Can you hear me?
I hear you and I see you.
Okay. Because you're going in and out.
I am going in and out.
It might be. Yeah, but that might be a symbol over here. Although that would be weird. You're pretty good.
You're going in and out. You're going in and out as well. You know what? How about we just don't move? Okay, be still, and maybe that'll fix the problem. Okay, I see you. You see me? I see you. Do you see me? Yep. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Let's try it again. Take 2. Ready? All right. Let's get into the Warriors. All right. Well, you know what? Let's just not even bury the lead anymore. Jonathan Kuminga got off to a hot start because it is all about Jonathan Kuminga at this point when it comes to Golden State Warriors discourse. And Jonathan Kuminga was going pretty damn good in the first half. Had 10 points. Notice I said the word had. Had 10 points. He was 3 of 3 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Had a couple of assists, had a couple of steals, 1 rebound. Just pointing that out, not making a value judgment about that whatsoever. Like I said, things were going good until this happened. Jonathan Kuminga going in for a basket, and I'll rewind it for you. You will see that Jonathan Kuminga, that was a non-contact injury. Now, I don't want to scare anyone. The news is coming out of Dallas that it is not thought to be serious. Jonathan Kuminga tweaked his ankle and his knee. So it is nothing to be concerned about in terms of torn ligaments or anything broken of that nature. It looks a lot worse than it is, Marcus, and it's probably scared Kuminga more than anything. But I'll run this video back to you. That Kuminga was untouched, and this happens in basketball. You don't. Sometimes you sprain and twist your ankle when you step on a guy's foot. Sometimes you twist your ankle just by your own doings, and that's what seems to be the case here with Jonathan Kuminga. So again, reports coming out of Dallas that this was a non-contact injury and it looks scary. Nothing to be overly concerned about as far as torn ligaments, broken bones, or a severely sprained ankle. Now, Kuminga's whether he will be able to play in upcoming games remains to be seen. But those who wanted Jonathan Kuminga, Marcus, and we'll get to those folks in a second, and they are loud and they are plentiful, whether you agree with them or not. Those folks who wanted Jonathan Kuminga play were feeling really good about the situation with the way that he started this game and the way that he was playing. By the way, coming off the bench to score those 10 points in the first half, but that was not that video that I just showed was not something that anyone wants to see, whether you're a Jonathan Kuminga fan or not.
It's funny. I actually have been an advocate of Kuminga being sixth man. I felt all along that because he doesn't want to do anything but score. Mm-hmm. So let him be a sixth man and come in and put points on the board.
Yeah,
I would have no problem with that because then you don't have to worry about him fitting in with the offense. He probably couldn't play with Steph Curry very often, but let him go in and get his buckets.
Absolutely. And without Jimmy Butler, the Warriors need all the help scoring that they can get. So if it comes from Jonathan Kuminga and if it comes from one-on-one isolation basketball, that is not something the Warriors want to run. It's not something that Steph thrives in. It's not something that Steph wants to run. If that's the way that they can get those desperately needed points from Jonathan Kuminga because you don't have Jimmy Butler for the rest of the season, and Lord knows you ain't getting no help from Draymond in that regard, you take it any way you can get as far as Jonathan Kuminga's get down is concerned.
I mean, let's be clear about this too. Like this team has no offensive consistency outside of Butler and Curry. None.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
And now that Butler's not there, not only do you lose the point, but you also lose all around game. I think he was second on the team in rebounds, assists, and scoring, and defense. You missed that defense.
Yeah.
I don't see much happening. I mean, it was going to be a tough sledding anyway. Yeah, I can't see much happening for the team this year.
Yeah, the Warriors definitely seem to have themselves in a pickle, and the last desperate hope for a lot of Warrior fans is that they make some miracle move before the trade deadline on February 5th. I have a hard time seeing that happening. So kind of what the Warriors have right now is what they're going to have for the rest of this season. It's a damn shame, and the Jimmy Butler news, when we got off the air on Monday, I feel like Jimmy Butler got hurt only a few minutes later. It's a damn shame because you could see the Warriors playing much better basketball. Steve Kerr finally had himself a rotation. It was a rotation that didn't include Jonathan Kuminga, but he finally had himself a rotation. The Warriors had where they gone 6-2 on that 8-game homestand, and while you can quibble about the quality of
last 16,
right.
So
and while you can quibble about the quality of opponent that they beat to go 6-2 in that homestand, 12-4 over that 16, W's are W's, and you need to stack them so you get into the playoffs and stay out of that play-in. But the Jimmy Butler injury just completely and totally threw everything up in the air, and that's when the Jonathan Kuminga discourse this week got really, really loud. got really, really tribal and got really, really weird. I'm gonna throw some stuff up here and let's get into this, because I find understanding that social media is not real life, and the opinions of individuals and teams on social media doesn't line up perfectly with the independent the thoughts of people who don't traffic heavily in social media. All right. Twitter ain't real life. Social media ain't real life. I understand that. But I've always found Warrior Twitter to be fascinating, because it engages in some of the most brutal team fan civil wars you will ever run across. And I find it to be interesting, because you would think that everyone would have the same focus and the same goal, which is we root for our team, we root for the Warriors because we want the Warriors to win. And what I find to be fascinating about Warrior fandom in social media, okay, what I find it to be fascinating is that that's not the case, where everybody's pulling in the same direction. Because you have people who are fans of the Warriors and who are fans of Steph Curry. And those two mindsets don't link up. Now, there's this thing called parasocial relationships, and this term has been around since the 50s, but it's really come into focus over the last few years. And for folks who are not watching us, you're just listening, if you're checking out the audio version of Quality Hang, I'll just read this. Parasocial relationships are one-sided bonds where people develop strong feelings of friendship or intimacy with media figures, celebrities, influence, fictional characters, who are unaware of their existence, forming an illusion of real reciprocal connection through repeated media exposure, especially amplified by social media. While these can offer comfort and community, they can also be unhealthy if they replace real-life connections, he tried to say in English, or lead to obsession. And I say all that to say this. Bonte Hill, pre- and post-game host for the Warriors on NBC Bay Area, a friend of mine and my co-worker at NBC Bay Area, dropped this tweet, Marcus, a few days ago. Serious question. Why has the Kuminga dialogue become toxic? And to me, the reason it's become toxic is because of a certain parasocial relationship and people who are hyper-focused on Steph Curry. And so they look at this Jonathan Kuminga scenario in one of two ways. You're either pro Jonathan Kuminga because you see Jonathan Kuminga as a young, underused talent that can give the Warriors what they don't have and what they desperately need to compete, which is athleticism. And that will ostensibly help Steph play basketball. That will help the Warriors win. That will help Steph win. That will be beneficial to their cause. And I bring up this tweet as an example. Steph's your best offensive player out there, and you're surrounding him with Draymond Green, GP2, and Buddy Hield. Give my guy, Kuminga, a chance out there. Stop with the hockey subs. Let some of the guys that close out the first quarter find rhythm and play next to Steph. That's a pro Jonathan Kuminga point of view. But what is it all wrapped up in, Marcus? It's all wrapped up in we got to help Steph. Not about the team, not about the team getting better, but it's about we got to help Steph. I find that to be interesting.
Yeah, I actually think that it's also people. I think that's a gigantic part of it. But I also think it's people who there's this weird thing that's developed where folks. The other part of that parasocial relationship is I hate Steve Kerr.
I'm getting there.
He has a personal vendetta against Jonathan Kuminga, and he doesn't want him to succeed. Like, what?
Oh, I'm getting there, because if there's a pro, there's an anti. So I just showed you the pro Jonathan Kuminga, but how it's wrapped up in put him out there so he can help Steph. It's all about Steph. Here's the anti part of it, and it has to do with Steph, because the anti Jonathan Kuminga folks see Jonathan Kuminga as the singular remaining personification of the failed two-timeline strategy, which is there to be criticized, and rightfully so. The wasted draft picks. Joe Lacob is he is Joe Lacob's personal pet project, who doesn't play the style that Steve Kerr wants him to, and that style that's best for Steph. Kuminga is the guy who they think his presence on the court is detrimental to Steph's presence. So therefore, he's bad, and the people who are down with him and who champion him, most notably Joe Lacob, are bad. They don't know what they're doing, and they're wasting the end of Steph's career. And I present this as an example. If you're a Steph Curry fan and you want the Warriors to keep Jonathan Kuminga, you are actively hurting Steph Curry's career and chances of having more success, which makes you an enemy or hater instead of a fan of his.
This is
parasocial relationships.
Yeah, this is such a unique professional basketball issue. Like, everybody roots for their player, for the team, like I said, but it's in this particular pro sport, it's heightened. I think a huge part of that is the way the sport has been marketed.
Yes.
Where it's just, this guy versus that guy, where I always feel like the NFL does it right when they market the teams, even though they spotlight players, but it's always a team, and no one gives a shit about anything other than the team. And period. And they'll watch the team, they'll root for the team no matter what. It's weird to see people rooting against the team in support of one player or another that's on your team. It's such a strange thing.
It is a relatively new phenomenon. And when I say relatively new, I say, over the past 15 or 20 years, with the advent of social media and the NBA truly becoming a global game. And it becoming a global game means that there are going to be more people who have never been to an NBA game and are not from the cities in which NBA teams reside, but they are fans of certain players. And, obviously people have been fans of singular players for a long time. There were people who had never seen the Lakers play who were massive fans of Kareem and Magic, and obviously Michael and Dr. J, and those trailblazers who paved the way for where we are right now, to where you can have folks who are so hyper focused on one person, in this case Steph Curry, that anything that does not have everything to do with his with his success, then there must be something wrong either with that person who they believe is singularly responsible for their lack of success in a certain period of time over the course of a certain season, or it's somebody else's fault that person who could help Steph in this case is not playing. There is no room for nuance. You're either with us and you're either down with this player, or you are against the player and you are against us. I find it to be fascinating, and it's the textbook definition of what a parasocial relationship is.
It irritates me because as a 50-year Warrior fan, I thought we were better than this. We used to be.
No, we're not.
Not anymore. It is the most basketball.
No.
What? They take the stuff, and I guess this does happen when teams become dynasties. I'm sure it happened with the Bulls, etc. But God damn, when did we become so stupid? And there's a loss of just actual logic and basketball intelligence. It just goes out the window. Like we've seen these dynasties come and go. They end at some point. And guess what? It's typically nobody's fault. Teams get older. You get screwed because all those years of winning, you get shitty draft picks and shitty draft order. The only thing, and now that you've got this double apron, you really have to be trash in order to build the team back up again. That's just what it is. I'm like, it's not anybody's fault that the Warriors are. They're all And they
listen,
don't have to play no matter. Go ahead.
And the thing is, to me, that there is always room for nuance. Okay, nothing is ever black and white. Guys are getting older, league's getting younger, league is catching up to you. They've seen your blueprint. They've stolen a little bit from it. They've added to theirs. Obviously, luck is involved, good and bad. The disease of me is a real thing. Meddlesome owners. And listen, Joe Lacob ain't blameless in this. Steve Kerr's not blameless in this. Jonathan Kuminga's not blameless in this. His representation, for sure, ain't blameless in this. And you know who else ain't blameless in this? Steph Curry. They all have something to do with it. You get to this point, all right? If you can get to the point where you can be wildly successful, you also could get to a point where you are very, very unsuccessful. And that's just a part of the deal. That's just a part of life. And there are a lot of folks who just simply cannot deal with that. And they cannot deal with the end coming. And they also cannot deal with the fact that maybe, just maybe, you know what? It's not your time anymore. Just not your time anymore. It seems as though we've lost Marcus, so we'll see if we can get him back into the. We'll see if we can get him back into the mix. If not, we shall continue on with. We shall continue on with the rest of the show. Andrew says the over/under that Brooks has ever skied in Jersey. You could ski in New Jersey, so I've never done that. Had no idea you could ski in Jersey. Had no idea that they even had ski resorts in New Jersey. See if we can get Marcus back here in the mix. He dropped out, and we'll get him back in the mix. But anyway, as far as the Warriors are concerned, the Jonathan Kuminga discourse, again, as I sort of just watch it from a distance. I stay out of the fight. I'm the guy watching going, oof, look at everybody going at it about something ultimately they have no control over. See if we can get Marcus back in the mix. The answer to that question is currently yay. I told you to be still, brother. Oh man,
I'm frozen.
Your internet's it's not mine, it's you.
No, it must be something over here. I don't know what it is. I don't typically have that problem. So what's going on?
Oh well. Yeah, Marcus in the green room, in the great green room. So yeah, the Kuminga discourse, Marcus is I was saying, must be the substation. You know what, Andrew? Very good point. That damn Niners substation next to the Niners practice facility and Levi Stadium, which supposedly is the root cause of their injury history over the past 10 years. Apparently, that substation is affecting you and affecting the show. So we have to do something about it.
Take that at this point. But though you were saying, we were talking about the Warriors fandom and the loss of intelligent and logical discourse caused by winning.
Yeah. Ultimately, it was caused by the greatest success that that franchise has ever seen, and the greatest success the Bay Area has seen since the Niners were in their heyday in the 80s and the early 90s. Yeah, and you know what? If we would have had social media back when the Niners were doing their thing, it would have gotten damn goofy too. Because I got here on the tail end of Steve and Joe, even though Steve had already taken over, but the discourse was still happening, and that was some pretty damn toxic stuff. I could imagine that it would have been the exact same way had social media been around at that time, for sure.
Yeah, and the most disturbing part to me is seeing people, like I said, just not appreciate the fact that this team was trash.
Yeah.
It was trash. And they turned it into something special. And instead of appreciating that and understanding that all this stuff comes in waves, Steve Kerr said it years ago, like, this is not normal basketball. This is not usual. And now the guy, he's an idiot. He can't coach. He's only good because he's had Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green and all this. Yeah. What would Phil Jackson have done without Shaq and Kobe? You think he would have coached the Bulls team without Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen?
Hey, didn't we see his get down without Shaq and Kobe when he was running the Knicks?
Oof. Ugly.
Yeah.
Ugly.
Yeah. Ugly for sure. Let's move on. Who you got in these conference championship games coming up on Sunday?
Well, I've been rolling with the Seahawks, so I'm gonna stick with them. And I'm going with the Pats. I feel like there's no way the Pats can't win. I mean, the Broncos would have to do something insanely special to beat the Patriots.
I'll start with the AFC because I think the Patriots are going to win by virtue of what they have defensively. Very good offensive line. And Drake May, even though he was nothing special in the game against the Texans, just a little bit better than that, considering what the Patriots have overall and the deficit the Broncos are starting at quarterback, and I'll get to that in just a second. The Patriots, if they don't royally screw this up, should win this football game. But I was talking about this, for those who don't know, I do a podcast with Dante Whitner called The Grid Code, and we just recorded the latest episode. Actually, we might even put it out, but we just recorded it on Tuesday. And I brought up a name that I don't think a lot of people are really talking about. And he's not a player, so ultimately his impact on the game is not going to be as great, but he does have a very, very key position. I don't think people talk enough about how good of a coach Sean Payton is. And if there's any coach who could find a way in one game to figure out a way to win that game with the guy Jarrett Stidham, who's not some chump. Now, he didn't throw a pass all year long, and he is a career backup quarterback, but it's not some chump. If there's a guy who can find a way for one game, knowing that they had a full week of preparation and a full week of practice to devise some sort of a game plan to assist Jarrett Stidham, you can't tell me that Sean Payton is not that guy. And I find it interesting that this is only a 4.5-point spread. Like you would think you lose a quarterback and you insert a quarterback that hasn't thrown a pass all year long, Marcus, you would think that line would be, especially with the defense that the Patriots have, you would think that line would be north of a touchdown. For it to be under 5, I'm taking the Patriots. I think it's going to be a lot closer than a lot of people think.
It kind of says that we don't trust these offenses.
I would say that. Sure. But you lose a starting quarterback, and you insert a guy who has not thrown a pass all year long. That shouldn't be a 4.5-point spread. And now, and I think you could say it's about the offenses. You could also say it's about the quality of defenses you are going to see. Good defenses on all 4 of these teams. Seattle and Denver, for my money, being the 2 best, but there's not a lot of difference from Seattle to the Patriots and the Rams. They bring a good defense as well. Like I said, there are a lot of people who think the Patriots are just going to kick the stuffing out of the Broncos because they don't have Bo Nix and because of what the Patriots have done this year. All credit to the Patriots. I think that line only being 4.5, I think that means that means a little something that I think a lot of people aren't paying attention to.
They're playing in Denver or New England?
Yes, they are. Right? They're playing in Denver. Yeah, no, Denver. Denver's number 1 seed. Oh. Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Well, maybe that's why.
Just saying. Well, that only gets you 3 as a home team. So
these guys setting the line know something.
They always do.
They know something.
how that works. Seattle, LA, this is going to be a hell of a game. The first time they played week 11, Rams 21, Seahawks 19. Second time they played 5 weeks later, overtime, 38-37, Seahawks. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be somewhere in between these two final scores, more closer to 21-19 than 38-37. To me, it's going to come down to two things. Which quarterback doesn't foul it up? Because you still have Sam Darnold, who against the Niners did what he was supposed to do and didn't turn the ball over. So he's still sitting at 20 turnovers, which leads the league, but he's still sitting at 20 turnovers. Matthew Stafford has been kind of as of late, probably going to win the MVP. And I don't want to say his play, Marcus, has regressed, but you could see Matthew Stafford being errant. Not as errant as he had been in previous years, but not as sharp as he was for the majority of the season. Which quarterback does or does not throw the killer interception in special teams? Seattle's got the best special teams in the league. We saw that last week against the Niners, and that basically won the game for them. The Rams, their special teams has been a joke all season long. Almost lost the game to Carolina to a block punt. But on the flip side, got a game-winning field goal from a guy they got off the street only a few weeks ago. It's going to be a field goal game in my estimation. I see Seattle winning it. Whoever has the ball last is going to end up being that team that wins it. I think it's going to be Seattle with a game-winning field goal. I'll say 27-24 to give a score.
I'm not mad at that. I actually think that I feel like Seattle's going to dominate guys though. The score, though the score may not reflect it. So it may the final score may look close, but I think Seattle's going to end up dominating these dudes. And I say it all the time, I just don't trust the Rams.
You don't?
I just don't trust them. And they look shaky every week. They keep putting the same thing I said about the Bears. You can't keep winning these games this way.
Yeah.
And I think that if they're going up against the Seattle team and they get behind like they did these other squads, I don't think you're going to be having these last second drives, a minute 40, and have these crazy touchdown pass. By the way, that pass Matthew Stafford threw last week was insane.
Oh, from the right hash, basically flat-footed to the left sideline.
Insane.
Yeah, I mean that was
crazy. Pass was insane too. They pushed to overtime.
Yeah. A 14-yard touchdown that traveled 51 and a half yards in the air. Yeah, that happens all the time. Sure. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That makes absolutely perfect sense.
I think both the games will be moderately entertaining, but we'll see how this thing lands.
I think they're both going to be
Patriots, Seahawks Super Bowl rematch.
I think they're both going to be close. They're both going to be wildly entertaining, and yeah, we are in accord. Patriots Seahawks rematch, and we will have 2 full weeks to convince ourselves about what's going to happen, and we're going to go back and forth on what's going to happen, and then eventually settle on something. So yeah, we're both on the Patriots, and we are both on the Seahawks. I think Seattle and the Rams are going to be closer. And I think that Patriots and Broncos, that might end up being a 6, 7, maybe 9-point win for the Patriots late. But if I were a betting man, and I'm not, that Denver 4.5 is it is enticing for
trying to
me.
Get you to bet.
They are trying to get me, but they ain't gonna get me. I ain't gonna fall for it. Let's get to some on this date. January 22nd. We'll go in chronological order here. On this date in 1984, the first specific Super Bowl commercial was aired on this date? Do you remember this?
Glorious anniversary of the Information Purification Directives. We have created, for the first time in all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests, obeying contradictory thoughts. Our unification of thoughts is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
This was the first Super Bowl specific commercial aired. Before,
And did it only air one time?
it only aired one time during the Super Bowl when the Raiders, the LA Raiders, beat the Redskins 38-9 on this date. The Apple Macintosh commercial debuted, and you only saw it on television once. Before this commercial, the commercials you saw on Super Bowls leading up to that were just normal commercials that you had seen before. Companies had not crafted a specific commercial to run during the Super Bowl. Apple was the first one to do it, and they completely and totally changed the game. From that point on, next Super Bowl, obviously to where we are right now and beyond, every commercial is specifically designed and geared and eventually paid for to run during the Super Bowl. Now, you'll see them later after the game, but as far as specific commercials for the Super Bowl, that was the first one. And it aired on this date, January 22nd, 1984.
Iconic.
Yeah, iconic. Changed the game completely. On this date in 1989, one of the greatest drives in the history of the NFL happened. And it happened in Super Bowl XXIII. Now, we'll run as much of the drive. We'll run a lot of the drive. And I want to pass along something that Niner fan, no one knows about. And this is going to be, this is going to blow your mind if you're a Niner fan. I had a chance to work with the great Tom Rathman. He did a couple of pre and post games for us during the season. And Tom, great guy, absolutely great guy. And so, of course, we were peppering him with stories about the glory days. And if you see here, the Niners run this drive with two setbacks. Roger Craig to the left, our guy Tom Rathman, easily identifiable by the neck roll on the right. So they were responsible for, obviously running the ball, responsible for protections, responsible for getting out there in pass patterns in Bill Walsh's West Coast offense. So as you see Joe Montana slicing, what a throw. You see Joe Montana slicing and dicing the Bengals, who could do nothing about what's going on. I want to fast forward ahead to the game-winning touchdown. And you'll see the touchdown, as you've seen a million times before. And it looks like typical Joe Montana, San Francisco 49ers. I know, right? San Francisco 49ers, Bill Walsh, West Coast offense, precision. Let me move this banner here. Okay, right? Precision. Rice goes in motion, two-back set. Joe drops back, comfortable pocket, touchdown, right?
Yep.
The Niners almost fouled that up. And I'll go back to the touchdown. This almost didn't happen because if the Bengals would have blitzed, they would have caught the Niners slipping because Tom Rathman here on the left, setback. You got Roger Craig here on the right. If you watch, they both go into the pattern. neither one of them blocks. One of them was supposed to block. They both go in the pattern. If the Bengals had blitzed, Montana was a sitting duck. That touchdown doesn't happen. Watch them both go in the pattern. Rathman goes right there. Did you see Roger Craig go cut across the middle, not too far beyond the line of scrimmage? Tom Rathman told us that story, and we all sat there like, can't believe it. And he goes, we got to the locker room. We knew we'd messed up, and no one, he and Roger Craig, knew they messed up, and no one said anything about it. Obviously, they didn't bring it up to Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh didn't bring it up to him. None of the other players talked about it. The media was none the wiser. And Tom Rathman said we were this close to screwing that whole thing up. So one of the most famous drives, and maybe the most famous drive in NFL history, almost came to an abrupt halt. If the Bengals had decided to blitz in that situation, Joe Montana, maybe he'd have gotten out of it. Who knows? Maybe it would have been another situation like like the catch where he rolls out and finds somebody in the back of the end zone. Maybe Joe Montana, does something miraculous, but it wouldn't have been as smooth as what we saw on this date, January 22nd, 1989, when the Niners won Super Bowl XXIII, 20-16 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Did I just blow your mind?
That was a tough year because Eddie D was ready to fire Bill Walsh.
Yep.
Because the year before they had a great team and they got spanked by the Vikings. And
that was the Anthony Carter game. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bill Walsh retired like right after this game. He's like, I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was and they were in danger of missing the playoffs. They got hot at the end of the year.
If I remember
John
correctly,
Taylor had an insane game against the Rams, and all of a sudden it was off to the races.
Yeah. Speaking of insane games, Jerry Rice, the greatest to ever do it, in my estimation, was absolutely great and brilliant on that night. 215 yards receiving. By the way, still a Super Bowl record. 11 receptions was a Super Bowl record. I forget who broke that. And one touchdown for Jerry Rice. He was named, and rightfully so, the MVP. All of that happening in Miami, Florida on this date in 1989. And this is the first Super Bowl I can remember being a good and close Super Bowl. Up until that point, I think Super Bowl V ended on a field goal, or was a field goal game between the Dolphins and the Colts. But from that point, and maybe one of the Cowboy Steelers Super Bowl, I think in 1980, that might have been within a touchdown, 5 or 6 points. But as far as a close, nail-biting, last-second, last-minute drive, we had not seen anything like that in the Super Bowl up until this bit of Niners magic that almost didn't happen on this date, January 22nd, 1989. And now, close, tight, good Super Bowls are the norm.
Yeah, I mean, people forget how good that Bengals team was. So that was a really good Bengals team.
Very good team. Very good team.
That was a really good. That was peak Boomer Esiason. Ickey Woods was out there.
And what's crazy about this game is that these are two high-powered offenses, because that Bengals offense, as you mentioned, was no joke. Obviously, the Niner offense is one of the greatest of all time. But it was a defensive game. That was all field goals by and large.
Tim Crumrye broke his leg.
That was the Tim Crumrye game. Absolutely. Yeah. And that was the game where Joe Montana saw John Candy in the stands. And, during this drive, looked up and went, hey, there's John Candy. So, there you go. On this date, January 22nd. Niners win Super Bowl, beating the Bengals in last-second fashion, 22-16. And now, every time you see this drive, you will always think about how close the Niners were. If the Bengals had blitzed, or they had noticed that both Tom Rathman and Roger Craig had both gone out into the pattern, how close Super Bowl and NFL history was to actually never occurring. On this date in 2003, Chappelle Show premiered.
What?
Nothing like it before, nothing like it since.
That may be one of the first times I can't remember a cable show having that type of stronghold on pop culture before Chappelle's Show.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't think of one. And I'm not talking about like some people would watch TV shows or Real World, but I mean like legitimately this is a part of pop culture history, the size and scope of Chappelle's Show. I don't think there was anything like it before that. People
would watch it, and the next day, it's all anybody would talk about.
Yeah.
It's all anybody would talk. And the thing is that, because how we get our entertainment has completely changed. It's all fractured. Is that no one sits down and they just watch television anymore. We watch sports, and basically that's it. Now that the monoculture is no longer, you'll never see anything like the Chappelle Show again. 30 minutes. So what are we talking about? 22 minutes with commercials. And the next day, it's all anybody would talk about. And it only lasted for 2 seasons. Not like it lasted for 5, not like it lasted for 8. It was 3 seasons, but like The Godfather 3, nobody counts that 3rd season of Chappelle's Show because it was, not good, like The Godfather 3. But those 2 seasons, hot as fish grease, man. Hot as fish grease. Yeah. It aired for the first time on this day.
Comedy Central blew it.
2003.
They blew it. Comedy Central blew it. That show could have been on for 10 years.
Yeah.
If they just let the man. Whenever I have conversations about the Chappelle Show, I always parallel it to the Richard Pryor Show on NBC. Almost mirror images in the way those shows ended and the reasons behind them ending. So NBC did not let Rich do what he wanted to do. I don't even think Rich got through a full season. He's like, I'm done. I'm cool.
Yeah.
And same thing with Dave.
He kept $50 million, man, got on the plane to South Africa, and everything changed from that point. Did you see the new Chappelle Netflix special?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. You still got it. Still got his fastball. It's still there.
Man, that he's just one of the most naturally funny dudes I've ever seen.
He is one of this country's greatest storytellers, and there's not a lot of people above him, and there's a whole lot of people behind him on that list.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot of people.
There's so much. Like I said, I constantly compare Dave Chappelle to Richard Pryor because I think their comedy and their impact on culture are so similar.
Yeah.
And they're both really highly intelligent guys. Really make you think of their comedy.
Yep.
Are great interviews. Always have something really insightful to say during an interview. Love them.
Absolutely. First Chappelle Show aired on this date all the way back in 2003. And final on this date in 2006, Kobe Bryant dropped 81 points on the collective heads of the Toronto Raptors. He took 46 shots. Good God. 42 minutes, 28 of 46 shooting, 18 to 20 from the free throw line. He had a couple of assists, which next to the 81 points, that's the second most impressive part of that entire stat line, that he passed it to get 2 assists on the way to taking 46 shots and scoring.
And he was mad about it too.
Oh, man. Yo, mad as hell about him giving that ball up. Oh, man. But, On this date, Kobe Bryant scored the second most points in a single game in NBA history, obviously behind Wilt Chamberlain's 100, which, by the way, taking a slight detour here because this is a personal thing for me. If you happen to, if you think it's funny and witty to say that Wilt didn't score 100 points because there's no footage of it and it didn't happen, there were people who were there who not only saw it, but had actually played in the game. And I was lucky enough to know one of those people. And if you're a Warrior fan or a Bay Area sports fan, you know who I'm talking about. And it's the great Al Attles, who passed away, last year. And Al Attles played and was the second leading scorer in that Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game. So, yes, there is no footage. But to say that it didn't happen because there is no footage and it's like, fake, like some people believe the moon landing is fake.
Stupid.
Like, Al Attles was there, and I believe he scored 16 points. I know he was definitely the second leading scorer. So, yes, it happened. And Wilt's number one, Kobe's number two, scoring 81 points with 2 assists on this date in 2006. At what point do you send a double team at him? When he gets to 68?
You have to feel like at some point it didn't even matter. Like, you could have put 4 or 5 dudes on him. It didn't even matter at that time.
Hey, I'm telling you, you ain't gonna drop 80 on me. All right.
Somebody gonna get kneecap.
Just we bringing some help. We getting the ball out of your hands some way, somehow. All right. But you just ain't about to get up 46 shots in man-to-man situations. No.
Like, his arm had to be tired.
Oh, no, he could have taken 100 that night, and Kobe would have been. He would have shot with his other hand. Knowing Kobe Bryant. Oh man. So Kobe Bryant on this date scored 81 points. Niners won Super Bowl XXIII in 1989. Chappelle Show debuted in 2003. And the first Super Bowl specific commercial, the Apple Macintosh commercial, debuted on this date in 1984. So there you go. Nice. For on this date. We always finish the show with the best thing that I've seen today. And I hope, because it's the best thing that I've seen today, me sharing this video with you, hopefully it becomes the best thing that you have seen today. And I'll just say about this bit of video: kids say the darndest things.
Golden State? I had a lot of really good teammates. I would probably say Kevon Looney, who's on our team now. We grew up together.
I just want to stop this video for a second, okay? And give some context, but also want to point out something here. So this is Jordan Poole, now a member of the New Orleans Pelicans, and it looks like they had some local school kids come to the Pelicans facility to meet the players and ask them questions. So this little fair-headed kid here is the one that's asking who's his favorite teammate from his Golden State days. Now I'm going to start the video from the beginning. I want you to watch little brother down here in the right corner, and I want you to get a good look at his face, okay, while Jordan Poole is answering this very earnest question from the little kid in front of him. I want you to look at little brother's face, because the end of this video will then make sense, and you will get the full sort of context of why this video is the best thing that I've seen today. So again, just to set the scenario, little Timmy here is going to ask a very earnest question about who Jordan Poole's favorite player was. And I want you to watch little Bro's face back there, because he's getting ready to bring some heat.
Golden State? I had a lot of really good teammates. I would probably say Kevon Looney, who's on our team now. We grew up together, so we kind of had a relationship. But Steph's up there, Clay's up there, Andrew Wiggins up there. All those guys are still super cool. You used to watch when we were in Golden State?
But how did you feel when Draymond punched?
Oh my.
What do you want me to say to that? When I woke up, I was pissed.
when I came to, my feelings and my face were hurting. When the look on little Timmy's face when he asked the question, because he looks back at him. Wait a minute.
God damn.
When,
You used to watch when we were in Golden State?
But how did you feel when Draymond
look at little Timmy's face down there. But how did you feel when Draymond?
How did you feel when Draymond punched?
Oh my.
What can you say? Other than it's tough.
It's tough, bro.
What else can you say?
Credit to Jordan Poole for handling
me
this
good.
situation in the manner in which he did. That's the best thing I've seen today. Let me get that one more. And by the way, special shout out to the woman who says, "Oh my God," because she adds the perfect amount of spice.
That's what happens when you put books around kids.
I would probably say Kevon Looney, who's on our team now.
I just love the juxtaposition of little Timmy. I don't know the kid's name. I'm just calling him little Timmy. But he's got his hands under his chin, and he's paying just rapt attention to what Jordan Poole is saying. And then you got little bro down here in the corner, just.
We kind of had a relationship. But Steph's up there, Clay's up there, Andrew Wiggins up there. All those guys are still super cool. You used to watch when we were in Golden State?
But how did you feel when Draymond punched?
Oh my.
So that's the best thing I've seen today.
You can't stand. You can't. Violence.
No, don't say it. I know what you want to say, but don't say it.
You can't. You can't. It's gonna go away.
And I would hope that Lil Bro, I would hope that he did not face any disciplinary action from any adults. I hope he didn't get whooped. I hope that they let it ride, because it's a legitimate question. The kids don't have filters, and he wanted to know. I mean, hell, I kind of want to know. How did it feel when Draymond, turned the lights out on you? I hope that youngster. I hope that he is in God's good graces right now, because that's the best thing I've seen today. So there you go.
This dude, Jordan Poole, is never going to live that down. Like,
No,
nobody's ever
no.
going to let him live that down.
No.
He can't go nowhere.
It changed his life. It changed the fortunes of the franchise. Draymond still, I don't think has actually truly been punished for what he did. I mean, he knocked out a teammate. He was just on some sucker shit.
And on top of that, it's the no matter where you go, it's the ultimate heckle.
Yeah. Until Jordan Poole knocks somebody out. Yeah. Until he knocks somebody out, it's gonna be the ultimate heckle. So put it this way, until he gets his lick back, it's always gonna be, you're the guy that got knocked out by your teammate. And it shouldn't be that way. But just shout out to Lil Man, just keeping it real with the questions. Hopefully he grows up to be an investigative journalist, in whatever capacity journalism is still, whatever it's still operating as in the future. I hope that young man is out there asking all the tough questions as he did today. So that's the best thing I've seen today.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Dom, he was holding back. He was ready. He waited.
That was definitely in the clip. Like, yeah, it was locked and loaded.
He waited for Jordan Poole.
You know what it was too. Him and his buddies, they knew Jordan Poole was coming that day. He's like, "Yeah, I gotta ask. I gotta ask. I gotta ask."
So good, so good. There it is, folks. Another edition of Quality Hang, Thursday night edition. Before we get out of here, we just once again like to thank our presenting sponsor, the fine folks at Hop Monk Taverns. 3 locations to choose from: Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Novato. Make sure you check them out if you happen to be near those 3 fine Bay Area towns, or if you want some information about what they have coming up as far as live entertainment is concerned, follow them on all the socials and check them out online at hopmonk.com. All right, my brother, how about we do this again on Monday? What do you say?
Let's do it, man.
All right, to all the quality hangers in the chat, we see you. We thank you for your contributions. We thank you for keeping the chat lively, and we obviously and profusely thank you for your patronage, if you will. We will see you on Monday. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you on the flip side. And as always, be good and be good at it. We'll see you. Bye.